When you're on top, everybody wants to steal your crown. And so far, the world champion Detroit Pistons have met all the challenges. In the first two games of the Eastern Conference Finals, the Pistons looked invincible. Their tenacious defense corralled the Bulls, grounded Air Jordan, and sent him home without a word to be heard. In Game 3, Michael Jordan knew that actions speak louder than words. His teammates responded to his week of silence with some relentless hustle and some loud action of their own. Yet with the game on the line, it was Jordan's turn to make some noise, exploding for 47 points and giving Chicago their first win of the series. Coach Phil Jackson said Game 3 was for pride. Now, back at Chicago Stadium for Game 4, it will take vintage Jordan and more to get even. And welcome to Chicago Stadium, the oldest arena in the NBA and perhaps the loudest as well. And welcome to game number 4 of the Eastern Conference Final. Best of 7 between the defending world champions, the Detroit Pistons, and the challengers, the Chicago Bulls. Detroit won the first 2 games, and now Chicago will try to even it up. Portland and Phoenix are tied 2-2 in their best of 7 Western Final. Good afternoon again, everyone. I'm Dick Stockton. We've had a day to think about this, and so is Chuck Daly. After Michael Jordan's 47 points, he decided he was going to go to the team, ask them, how should we defend Michael Jordan? The word is there was silence for a while, but then they came up with an idea. And the question, as I asked Hubie Brown, is how do you anticipate the Pistons playing the great Michael today?
Well, I think they were rather disappointed in Game 3 that they did not trap him quicker with a little bit more physicalness. Also, when you look at Michael's game, they could possibly come down the floor with some trap him, make him get rid of the basketball in the backcourt. Like Chuck Daly says, when he gets 40, we can live with that. Anything above 45 to 50, now he's dictating the total tempo of the game.
Meanwhile, the Chicago Bulls were a totally different team in game number 3. They had a lot more zip and zest, a lot more aggressiveness. The question is, can they play better than they played? Is it possible to play as well in this one?
Well, Michael had a perfect game, and then you look at the rest of the club. They need to shoot a better first shot percentage. And by that I mean I don't think they can rely on the 21 offensive rebounds again today. Now, that's taking advantage. When you look here, we see that 12 offensive rebounds for Grant and Pippen, each coming up with 6 big ones. That's a ton. But they must also protect the basketball, cut down on their turnovers.
All right, well, the Bulls have still yet to lose here at Chicago Stadium in the playoffs. Tim Brand will be along coming up in a moment, so sit back and enjoy the playoffs. The NBA on CBS.
CBS Sports coverage of the National Basketball Association Eastern Conference Finals is sponsored by Jeep and Eagle, official vehicles of the NBA. Castrol, engineered for today's smaller cars. And by Miller Lite, bringing you the exciting conclusion of the Tour de Light.